Welcome to Ellen Ruth Soap. I'm Ellen, and today we are not making soap. This video is for the men. We are going to make a beard balm and a beard oil. And here are the containers. So I have done this before, a beard balm. I love the recipe. I'm going to share it again today. These are little 2-ounce tins, and I think they make a fabulous container for the beard balm and then beard oil. I love these. I got these little amber bottles. And I think a dark amber glass bottle helps to maintain the integrity of the oils that we're going to be using. I love these. They look cool. Got the little eyedropper so you can just take out a few drops. It doesn't take much. Beard balm, beard oil, they're very concentrated. Unless you have like a really big beard, you use a little more, you know. I guess I'll leave that up to user discretion. But these are so nurturing for the hair follicles, you know, on your beard. It's a different, you know, it's a coarse type of hair. It needs a little more conditioning than your hair on your head. You got to treat it delicately, and your skin underneath your beard and mustache area, it can get dried out or, you know, sensitive underneath there. And so we want to use oils that are skin nourishing as well as hair nourishing. And so I love the formula I'm sharing today for both the beard oil and the beard balm. And these are going to make great gifts. It's about time to start thinking about teachers' gifts and Christmas gifts, stocking stuffers, that kind of stuff. I know it's early, but it's coming. And especially if you're a maker and you're selling products, you want to make early and have stock on hand. So I think this beard combo is fantastic. And here's the fragrance I'm using today. Super masculine. I love it. I mean, I would use anything with this. Well, I don't have a beard, but the scent, oh my goodness. So it is called Oak and Whiskey from Rouge, Canada. It's just everything wonderful, kind of cologne-y, very masculine. Let me read the scent notes to you here. Okay, the top note is sherry, middle note of whiskey, bottom note of wood. So very simple scent notes, but they are good together, and it's definitely a masculine fragrance, but that goes perfect with what we're doing today. So let me get everything pulled together, get my work surface sanitized, and let's come back thinking about the men in our lives and make some beard balm and some beard oil. And we are back for the first step of our beard loving products we're making today, and we're going to do the beard balm first so that I can get it off to the side to thicken up while we go ahead and make the beard oil last, and then we'll talk about labeling and all the good stuff. But let's start with our beard balm. The first ingredient is beeswax, and if you're vegan or want to make a vegan friendly product, use candelilla wax. It's a great substitute. I've heard back from you all. I personally have not worked with candelilla wax yet, but I've heard so many good things from you all, so thank you for all of you that share. It helps everybody. I need 7 grams of beeswax or candelilla wax. I'm using beeswax today, and I'm going to measure out my hard oils and the beeswax and get it on my double boiler and melt it down, and then come back and add the liquids just to give, because beeswax has a much higher melting point, so give it a little head start so I'm not overheating all of the oils, if you know what I mean. All right, let's quit talking, get to 7 grams of beeswax. And I am making a little 2-ounce batch. I'm making 1 jar, a little micro batch, so you can multiply this recipe as many times as you like. And the next ingredient in here is shea butter, and I need 7 grams of shea butter, which is so moisturizing, good for your skin, good for your hair follicles, the skin underneath, all of it. It's so good. Okay, and the last hard butter is cocoa butter. I need 7 grams, and I'm using these little wafers. They're very easy for measuring. All right, I've done a little pre-melt, and I spoke too soon. I just was glancing at my recipe. Another hard oil, but this has such a low melting point, it will just melt in here, is coconut oil. And if you have coconut allergies, or some people don't like to use coconut oil, Babasu oil is a wonderful substitute. You can substitute 1 for 1 in lotions and stuff, not in soap, but again, for lotions, balms, things like that. So if you don't want coconut, use Babasu. I'm going to use coconut in here, and I need 8 grams of coconut oil. All right, well, the coconut oil is melting. Let me get my first liquid oil out, which is jojoba oil. I got this from Soaper's Choice. There you go. And let me read to you why you would want to add jojoba oil in here. It's an excellent ingredient because it is the closest oil profile to the skin's natural sebum oil. It's a natural humectant. It keeps the skin moisturized. It can help manage different skin problems. And what does it say here? Jojoba oil can keep both beard hair and skin soft and healthy. It's lightweight, non-greasy, and great for all skin types. So jojoba oil is a wonderful ingredient in here. And I need 7 grams. I'm gonna try and pour really careful with this great big jug. I'm doing such teeny increments. All right, my next liquid ingredient is hempseed oil, and I absolutely love hempseed oil. It is very moisturizing. It's very nutrient dense topically on skin and hair. It's fabulous. If you don't have hempseed oil, you can choose another high quality oil of your choice, and it's a little pricey. So you might want to use like a sweet almond oil or a rosehip oil or walnut oil. Fill in the blank, do some research, and find out the properties you love. I'm doing hempseed oil, and I'm going to do 12 grams of hempseed in here. All right, and my last liquid oil in here is just good old-fashioned olive oil. And again, choose the oils that you love. I will have this recipe in percentage form down below, and so you can replace pretty much all of the liquid oils with one or many that you like. You don't have to use the exact same ones I am, but I need 7 grams of olive oil. All right, because my liquid oils were at room temperature, it's firming up a little more. I'm gonna pop it back on the double boiler and just get it to where it's all melted back again. And then we will add our fragrance oil before we pour it into our tin. All right, we are back, and it's time for our fragrance oil, which smells so divine. And I'm going in at about 1%, so I need half a milliliter of fragrance oil in here. And again, if you double, triple, quadruple the recipe, do your own percentages. I would definitely stay below 2%. 1% I think gives a nice sort of fragrance essence without being overpowering, because this isn't a cologne, it's a beard balm, you know. So let me just measure out with my little pipette here. There we go. Doesn't take much. Oh my goodness, that smells warm. As soon as it hits the warm oils, whew, that's a good one. So now I have my little tin up here, and I have my scale tared out. And we're gonna go ahead and pour this in there and see officially how much we have. This is a 2-ounce tin again. Just wanna stir this really well and make sure the fragrance is definitely blended with all of the oils, butters, and wax. Pull this over where you can see it a little better. All right, let's go for it here. This is going to be full right to the brim. Perfection. Oh my gosh, I love it when that happens. All right, so we have 63 grams of product in here, which is, you know, close to 2 ounces. And now I'm just gonna gently move this off to the side and let it firm up, and we will come back with our beard oil ingredients for our cute little amber bottles with the droppers. So we'll be right back. Just wanted to come in really quick while that's off to the side. I popped this back on the double boiler for just a second, and then I have a clean paper towel that I am wiping it out with. I'm going to use the same beaker to mix up our next because it's the same fragrance. I want to get all the wax out of there though. And that is how I do the preliminary cleaning, and that's going to be enough for this next product. But then when it's time to do dishes, I'll wipe it out with my paper towel, and I'll go over and use hot soapy water, and that'll get this jar perfectly clean. So just pop it back on the double boiler if you have some residue in there that's not wiping out, and let it remelt and give it a wipe, and that's how you do it. All right, we are back, and it's time to make our beard oil, and this does not have a heated phase. because it's all liquid oils that I'm using in here because I want it to remain liquid even in cool weather. So the first oil I'm choosing is avocado oil. And here again, you have so much freedom. Look up the different oils and their properties. Google is your friend. I've chosen each one of these oils because of their hair nourishing qualities and gentleness on your skin. They're not going to clog up the pores underneath the hair follicles. And I've chosen these ingredients because I think they're super nourishing. So the first ingredient I'm doing is avocado oil, and this is from Soaper's Choice. Got that big old container. I need 45 grams of avocado oil, and I am making a 4-ounce batch, and I think that's going to give me 2 of these little dropper jars full. Okay, 45 grams of avocado oil. Okay, my next ingredient is grapeseed oil, and this is such a nice light oil. I didn't want this beard oil to be too heavy, so grapeseed oil is a wonderful component to keep things on the lighter side. And I need 34 grams of grapeseed oil. All right, and we're back with our next ingredient, which is jojoba oil again. And this one, again, is a very light, it's not even technically an oil, it's in the wax family. It's very light, it's wonderful. We already read about the beauties of it in the last segment there. So let's get 28 grams of jojoba oil in here. All right, and our last oil is castor oil, and I'm just adding a little bit, 6 grams, but this adds a real glossiness to the oil, and it's very conditioning. Castor oil has some wonderful benefits. So that's going in 6 grams. All right, and that is it. Do you see how easy this was to make? I love it. This would be a wonderful beginner recipe if somebody's just entering into the maker space. Beard oils are great. Just do your research on what ingredients you love and throw them together, and you've got a beautiful product. So now I'm just going to stir these all. You don't need to use a heated phase at all for this because we're only working with liquids. And now it's time for the fragrance. And again, I'm going to be going in at 1%. So I want to add 1.2 milliliters of fragrance in here. And I'm using the same pipette because it's the same fragrance. All right, it's time to fill our jars. These have a pretty narrow mouth on them. So you got a couple options here. You can be an ace with pouring and do it that way if you're, really got a steady hand. You can get a funnel. This one is a hair big, but it goes in the lip, so this is how I'm gonna do it. Or if you're making a big batch and you have several jars to fill, I recommend getting like a ketchup bottle, putting it in here. You can shake it up and you've got the squeezy top, and you can squeeze it in there to fill your jars. So this would be handy if you're making several jars to fill. I think this would be the way to go. So there's some tips on filling. I am going to use my funnel. Make sure this is all stirred up, and I'm hoping to get both of these jars filled to the top. All right, we are all filled up. So now I left a little bit of headspace here. I'm gonna pinch the dropper on here as I put it in and let it fill up so it won't flood the jar. There we go, and perfection. Now I have to go print some labels and let my balm finish firming up, and we will be back with labels and to finish this out. All right, we are back. It has been a couple of hours and my beard balm is completely solid and wonderful, smells so good. That hemp oil gives it that nice rich color. And now it is time for labels. So I'm gonna get this lidded up, and let's talk about this label first since I only have one of them. The labels I'm using today are 2-inch round labels, And I have all the pertinent information on here, the ingredients in descending order, what this product is, my name, the weight, all the information that you need is on here. And this is the label I'm using from onlinelabels.com. There's the stock number, and I used their Maestro label designer. They had some templates on there, and so that's what I used to design this round label. Let's go ahead and get this on here. Easy peasy. And this lid on these containers could probably fit a 2.5 inch round, but I like having a little bit of the lid showing. And so there is our beard balm. Isn't that adorable? Love it. Okay, let's get to our beard oils. I'm going to use my little pro tip here, my spatulas, to keep my jars from rolling around when I get the labels out. And here are my beard oil labels. They have, if you use Canva to design your labels, they have little beard symbols. You can make these as fancy or as plain as you want. I went rather simple. Again, the name of the fragrance, what this product is, ingredients in descending order, all the pertinent information is on here. And then these are the labels that I'm using for my beard oil. Oh, my lid's coming off. Here we go. There is the stock number. I use the craft paper because that goes with my shop's theme, but these are the ones I'm using for the bottles. So let's get these labeled up. And these beard oils were so easy to make, weren't they? And you can customize them. I'll give the percentages and the oils that I used, but it is so flexible. I would say though, for a beard oil, to definitely incorporate a good portion or a decent portion of light oils like jojoba and grapeseed so that it's not too heavy. But these labels fit on these little 2-ounce jars just perfectly. So there they are. This was fun to make. Such an easy recipe for both of these, and you get them the same day you make them. They are ready to go. I love that. It's not like soap where there's the curing time and everything takes a while. This was easy. We did it in one afternoon. Well, I hope you give this recipe a try and customize it. Let me know what you're doing with your recipes if you're making these this holiday season for gifts or to sell, or what you're doing with your beard balm and beard oil. I would love to hear back from you all. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please hit that so you don't miss anything going on in the studio, and I hope you have a wonderful day.